last chance, no beating around the bush.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Blake Production.
What is good? I'm going over PayPal here. So a month ago I had my bullish swing trade idea on PayPal, and I was dead wrong, which happened. So I'm definitely not cheesed about it because I didn't play it, but in terms of like a technical analysis perspective, I'm a little bit kind of disappointed in the fact that, I probably could have done better in terms of breaking down this chart instead of being lazy and always going for that bullish perspective. So I'm just going to go over the things that I think I did wrong, and then I'm going to continue with a different idea for the next month. So March 3rd, I have a trade idea that should play out positive up until then. So we're going to get into it. Overall, like a lot of tech names have been getting beat up, like the high growth tech names that performed really well in 2020 and leading into 2021, like they played really well, but it's not that time anymore. Like those names were, for example, PayPal was just way too much, you know what I mean? So it now needs that time to consolidate, however long it's going to be. But for the most part, it was in a massive downtrend, right? So like when I look back at this name, going bullish on it was definitely not a good idea. Of course, it's easy to say in hindsight, but in terms of like the prevailing trend, right? The window of opportunity you have to make money going long is very tiny, right? So this is something that I'm going to, pay a lot more attention to in the coming weeks. Like keep it simple, stupid. Pretty much go invest in uptrends, trade with an uptrending stock. So the thing about the markets is money's always rotating, right? Right now we're seeing money rotating out of these high growth tech names. So in the next stock that I'm going to pick for the next month that I think could play off pretty well, it's going to be a name that's in an uptrend or a name that's looking that it's going to pop off, right? So the characteristics are going to be a lot different than this, right? So we were in a major downtrend. Like if we look, the window of opportunity, again, it's like you have such a short amount of time to make money, where the next time I see something like this where the prevailing trend is dominantly a downtrend, I think it'd be better off to just buy puts or maybe short or even just don't play it at all, right? So I think that's the big takeaway, right? Is like, what is the major trend? And if I start pulling up like the 20 moving average, right, we start to use that as resistance. Or if I use the 8, it might even be more clear, right? Like the 8 exponential moving average is clearly a downtrend. I look back now and I'm like, one, I'm happy that I had a bunch of money tied up in other names where I didn't get to play it. But in terms of like the value I'm trying to provide on this channel, like this is a step where I think it was eye-opening. So it's nice to see that, like, like, dude, you were wrong. What could you do better? So now that I'm breaking this down, that is definitely something I'm going to be paying attention to. So the name that I'm going with for the next month is Northern Oil and Gas. So completely opposite here, right? The oil sector has been popping. Like I live in Canada here, right? I think back to 2020, gas was like at like 63 cents. It was like dirt cheap. Like it cost me like $35 to fill my tank. My car tank of gas. Is like hilarious. Now it's like $55-$60, so it's doubled. And like with all the things going on, like I don't really know too much like politically wise what's going on with oil, but overall the trend is dominantly an uptrend, right? So as you could see here, we are making higher highs and higher lows. What I'm looking for now, right? So I'm going to put it on the weekly perspective. It's a little bit easier. But it looks like we have this trend line that's been holding us back since 2016. If we can get a break over this trend line, I think we might want to get that push higher. Shorter term, right, from like 2019, we have a resistance at $28, which we hit and we rejected. What I like is that we hit it, we rejected, but we stayed within the uptrend, and now we're starting to curl back up again. So if we make it up to that $28 range again, we want to see it do something like this where it hits the trend line, maybe back test this, and then we go. So this is a name I'm going to be watching for the coming weeks, right? I am definitely a lot more bullish on this than PayPal, especially because just the trends are completely opposite. So think of it in this way, right? Like our opportunity to make money here is a lot better because even when we pull back, we still have like the opportunity to curl back up. We have like, honestly, if you just hold it, you're probably better off. You're more likely to make money because so no matter what your entry is, you're going to be saved by the overall uptrend. So say you buy up here, it technically is a bad entry, but if you hold it for a while, the uptrend will save you, right? And now we're above it. It really depends on where you get in. If my thesis is that this is going to continue, that is what I'm looking for. Maybe we'll get some cup and handle pattern where we have something like this. We get this nice little cup coming up around here, and then we get that handle pattern coming in, and then we get the blast off. So NOG, Northern Oil and Gas, I will be doing a video March 3rd, and if it's looking good then, I'll continue to see how the trend moves. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here on NOG.